Um, well, just I'm gonna make just first. I'm gonna start saying just small introduction. We make in this space just because Father Simon promised us he's just gonna give us a reward for wording on fandom when we reached 10 milestone, and we did it. We now celebrating the 10 million tweets save wording on. So Father Simon promised us with a script, bedroom script for Evan, Beatrice, and also some other goodies. And today, I asked Father Simon if he would like to join us in a space to celebrate the 10 million tweet and read with us the script with Queen Christian tonteri-young too. So he was like, he accepted it. We're just gonna wait for Simon. Lord William, if you would like to, I send you a request to speak. So if you would like to join us. I have with me co-hosts Sarah and Kate, speakers Kay, Ash, and Kelsey, also waiting for Ari to join us. Oh, hello, hello, Sir James. It's an honor to have you with us here too. Okay, Sarah, would you like to pop in?
Sorry, you talking to me?
Yes, if you would like to say anything.
I think I'm good for right now. I think we're just waiting for those people to join, and then we can go ahead and start.
Yes. So, Lord William, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Huge congratulations for the celebration of the 10 million. Amazing work. You're all awesome. And yeah, looking forward to spending a bit of time with you all. It's a bit late here in Spain. It's around 11 p.m., but I guess a lot of you are on the same time frame.
That's early for you, William.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Hello, Simon.
Yeah,
William is lying. He is a night owl. I can testify to that fact. So 11 p.m. is essentially the equivalent of 8 p.m. for North America.
It is if I'm out having fun, but I couldn't do that. I was actually at a party with some friends, but I had to escape to do this in some kind of silence.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Uncle Simon, for joining us today in this space.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, and thanks to everybody who's been working so diligently to keep the torch lit for Warrior Nun. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I am Had, short for Hadir. I am a Warrior Nun trained organizer for the phrases here. And are we gonna wait for Queen Christian tonteri-young to join us today to read the script, or are we just gonna read it?
Oh, I think Christina's coming.
Oh wow! Thank you so much again, Father Simon, for joining us and give us from your precious time with us. And I'm gonna tell you that we're not gonna stop soon. We just gonna fight hard to get our show back. The fandom, you just have this amazing power like I never seen it before. So thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I would like Bowman. Okay.
Well, I just replied to Had. Christina just said that she's been here since 2.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Just I'm gonna check. Everyone's here. So I have to kick someone out. Just I can add. Okay, so Ash or Kelsey, can you just? I need to add Christina, but this is a lot of people here. Okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna add you back. Okay, done. Okay, so just waiting for Queen Christina to join. I'll just send her a request. She's hearing me. Okay, I send Queen Christina. Oh, okay, she's here now. Hello, Queen.
Hi. I sent a request, but I don't think it went through. Hello, everyone.
Yes,
Hi, Christina.
Yes.
Hi, Simon.
Hi, Christina.
Hello, William.
Because there were much speakers, so I couldn't add you. So I'm sorry. Just I have to get someone else. Yeah. Okay. Would you like Father Simon to start reading the script?
Well, if you guys want to do that right off the bat, is sure, but we need someone to play the Ava part.
Okay.
William, are you gonna play? Are you gonna play Ava?
I saw the photograph. I'm not gonna do it. It would just sound extremely awkward.
Let's audition Sarah, Kay, and Ashley and see who wants to do it.
I thought you were going to do it, Simon.
I was going to do the narration.
Okay.
Kay, are you going to play? You want to be Ava?
Okay, I'll do Ava, but it's going to be a bit confusing because I have a British accent.
Well, you're
Okay.
so tired.
Ava.
You sound British. How about that?
Okay, all right. I'm so tired I sound British. I'll do it.
Okay. So, is everyone ready? William?
Yes.
William?
Yeah.
Why don't you read the directions? Because I have like a morbid fear of doing this. So you can be me, and then
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't have it?
Have
Okay, well then I guess I have to do it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, is everyone ready?
You're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Is everyone set? Okay. Well, here we go. Scene 18. Interior Ava's apartment day. Very student housing vibe in here. Ava sleeps in a tangle of bed sheets, limbs akimbo, one side of a double bed. Reveal on the other side is Beatrice, staring up into the ceiling. She glances over at a sleeping Ava, takes a moment, then
3, 2, 1.
an alarm goes off. Ava bolts.
Blah. Coming.
Beatrice stops the alarm.
What happened?
Time for training.
Beatrice hops out of bed to get coffee going in the kitchen. Ava groans, having clearly stayed up too late. She yawns hugely, takes in their crappy apartment.
Question.
Yes.
Isn't the Vatican like $1 million billion?
I've no idea. Why?
It feels like the church could have rented us a nicer place to live. And why make us work our asses off to pay for this crap hole?
Please don't say arse or crap hole. Women our age without jobs draw attention. Unwanted attention would interfere with your...
Bunch of cheapskates, more like.
Ava shrugs, bounces to her feet, motivated.
Okay, I can feel it. Today's the day.
We'll see about that.
And scene.
Yay!
There you go.
Well done, sir.
It's alive. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a voice actor or an actor.
You did a great job. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And we really miss William a lot. Also, we miss Beatrice so much.
I miss you too.
I miss you, all of you too, so much. Okay. So we had some fans, a question for the celebration today. What about to start asking some question?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. My first question is for you, Uncle Simon. I remember I asked Queen Christina in one of the cameos, did Ava hear I love you from Beatrice before she went into the arc? Because, or this is a setup for season 3 when we get it back. I remember when Queen Christina said she hoped that Ava did, but I would like to know from you, Uncle Simon.
I think we'll have to wait and find out.
Okay, that's for season 3. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, Sarah, do you have it?
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Simon, we were wondering, what is the recruitment process for the OCS? Are they selected from other convents, or how and when did Beatrice join?
Yeah, they get essentially they get scouted based on their ability. So no, it's a secret organization, so no one can actually apply. So the way it works would be they would be part of an order or a convent, and a scout would probably recognize they had the skills that were necessary for the OCS and then put them into a sort of temporary, I guess you could say, evaluation process that without revealing what the OCS is. And then once someone passed those tests, that scout would reveal the OCS exists, and that would give them basically the opportunity to join.
Awesome, thank you. Kate, are you good?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hopefully you can't hear the dog snoring next to me. So this one is diving a bit into a deeper topic a little. So there's a lot of parallels to Jesus and Adriel. So the miracles, the clothes, the following. But a lot of people see Adriel as evil. Is there a chance that we have it wrong and Adriel might fall more on the side of good than we thought? Or is this meant to be, hard to decipher because of, opinions of religion are so vast?
Yeah, well, we always in the show try to make the misinterpretation of our mythology into religious mythology part of the fun. And I even remember telling William when we first met in season 1 that we weren't going to say it directly, but that the idea was that all of our religion had been essentially this misinterpretation of this two universe structure, this parallel existence, which is the other realm. And so out of the stories that have happened, like Adriel coming back and being an angel and bequeathing the halo, that our past couldn't process that. And so it became part of this religious mythology. And so it just left the door open that someone like a Jesus figure could have been someone from the other side as well. And so in doing that, you sort of, once you question whether everything is true or not, which of course the sisters start doing in season 2, when they realize all the books are wrong, then you can kind of question who's right and who's wrong. And that's why we sort of planted the seed with Adriel, that what he was doing, although it appeared to be malevolent, was actually he was trying to protect from a greater threat. And yes, Adriel may not have gone about it exactly the right way, but his intentions didn't necessarily have to be purely one or the other. He could have had his own ideas of what was the right thing to do, and believing that humans wouldn't, accept the truth maybe the way he could lay it out. He had to sort of manipulate the situation to his favor. So we never wanted to have anyone land on one side or the other of being truly malevolent. It was more, they have their ambition, they have their point of view, and they believe that it's the correct one. And Adriel, yes, he definitely may have enjoyed the process a bit too much in season 2, as far as it, feeding his ego. But I think he does come from a place where he believes he's trying to do the right thing, and that whatever Rhea represents on the other side is far worse in a way. William, what do you think?
Yeah, I think being locked in a cave for 1,000 years kind of gives you an itch for enjoying the pleasures of life.
Yeah, good point.
But as an actor, I always think that every character has their own truth. Nobody's essentially good or bad. Everybody is the hero in their own story. And yeah, I agree. That there's a lot that we don't know, or at least I don't know, or where the story would be heading. But there's also the history of the greater good. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the life of a few to save the life of many. And that's all information that would possibly come in further seasons. And as you said, there's a truth that maybe he thinks humanity isn't going to take kindly to, and there's the essence of immediacy when he does what he does, because the danger of being outside of his prison means that he can be located and tracked and trapped. So this has to be done fast, whatever he's doing. And to me, that meant that there was an urgency in achieving his goals, which meant that, as you said, he had to do a certain degree of manipulation.
I hope that answers the question.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Kate, would you like to add anything?
No, that answered it really well. Thank you both.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Okay, Kate, would you like to happen? If you're still alive.
Oh yeah, sure. Simon, this question is for you. So I was wondering if there were any challenges or any difficulties with being like the director and also being the showrunner? Is there like a different approach to both of those things, or is it easy for it to coexist?
No, they're very different in some respects. As the showrunner, I have to sort of manage everything that's going on at the same time on the show, which is a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in terms of organizing how we film the show with the money we have and the time we have, dealing with the problems that come up. And in general, trying to be at 40,000 feet, looking down at the whole thing as it's going forward so that all the pieces fit together. And then as a director, I need to be in the opposite frame of mind where I'm down at sea level and focusing on all of these details of the scenes that we're shooting in terms of how to film them in the time we have, with making sure the actors have exactly what they need in terms of the information of how we're going to shoot it, the blocking, where the camera's going to be and why, and answering the questions that they have if they have questions. This cast, though, rarely needed me as that kind of director, though. They're so good, which made my life a lot easier. And then, it's granular. So directing is you're in the moment, things go wrong that are right in front of you that you have to fix immediately. Showrunning, you're never in the moment. You're always seeing the beginning and the middle and the end at the same time, and you have to see things that are going to be a problem weeks ahead or months ahead. So they are very different mindsets. I actually find that directing is like a holiday for my head, because it's a lot of work trying to juggle all the aspects of the production with 200 people and all the things that can come up with all of those issues, and money and time management and things like that. Whereas directing is much more purely about the scene in front of you, the moment that you're working with the actors and the team behind the camera, and trying to, be in the best way creative and solution oriented and engaged with people directly, one-on-one, or 1-on-20, depends on what the situation is. And it's much more instinctive. It's very kind of like in the trenches in warfare, and showrunning is more like being a general and planning the war. I guess that's the only analogy I could think of.
Thank you so much. Okay, Ash, would you like to talk? Ash, you here? Okay.
Can you not hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A lot of people feel that your own religious experience played a part in Warrior Nun.
Sorry, you kind of broke up there. I don't know who you were addressing that question to.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Try again.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I turned my Wi-Fi off. Okay, a lot of people feel their own religious experience connected them deeply to the show. Do you feel your own religious experience played a part in Warrior Nun? And if so, what character's journey do you feel the most connected to?
This for me, for Simon?
Yeah, it could be for any of you, but yeah.
I don't have an answer to that question. I don't have a point of view about that in the show, but maybe Christina does, or William.
I was brought up in a very religious school when I was a kid, because we moved to Barcelona, and I didn't know how to speak Spanish when we arrived here, and because the language here in the area of Spain where I live is Catalan, my parents wanted me to learn Spanish first, and the only school that taught all classes in Spanish was a very religious school. I think that Catalan, my parents wanted me to learn Spanish. The only school. I think that it helped, as in
I have a fucking.
It allowed me to understand the lore of everything that was going on. Like I know all the stories. I know the Bible well, and that kind of allowed me to understand a lot of the characters a lot better. Like, I had the details.
Yeah, I mean, similarly to William, I mean, I didn't grow up, my family wasn't especially religious, but I mean, every now and then, you know, we'd go to church, and I had to go to, there was a period of time I had to go to Sunday school, and I went to a Catholic kindergarten, which was a very interesting experience. That was my first experience with nuns, and they were very strict. But yeah, I think similarly to William, it definitely helped, as in I knew the Bible quite well, just because of that exposure at an early age, and kind of, there's in Lutheran church, there's like, I think it's when you turn 14 or 15, you go through, it's kind of like a communion, or like a consolidation of your membership as part of that religion, and kind of like, even if you're not from a religious family, you still kind of do that so that you can get married in a church and then buried in the cemetery. But yeah, I think I definitely was very useful knowledge to have. It just meant that I didn't have to do as much research on that part when we started working on the parts. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Queen Christina. Yes, this is really helpful. Okay, Ari, would you like to open? Ari? Okay, Kelsey, would you like to open?
Hey guys. So this is really just for anyone who would know this question, but was Beatrice next in line for the Halo after Lilith and Ava?
I think in the case of, you know, there was a formality in season 1 regarding succession because things were intact at the OCS. And when you have Father Vincent and Mother Superior combining their forces with, you know, what's going on with oversight from the Vatican, the decision of who gets the Halo next is usually built around that formal structure, I would say. In season 2, because the OCS is kind of disbanded and lost, that structure has gone away. So in a way, you could say that because of it, the next Halo bearer would be whoever was available to get it, in a way, because there's no organization to make the decision. So to answer your question, yes, it would have been Beatrice, because that would have been the next logical person, and because of the opportunity more than anything, but also because theoretically anyone who's in the OCS is capable of earning the right to have it. You know that they wouldn't put you in that situation without believing that you were worthy, which is why everyone, like Lilith and other characters, feel like they can have
Yeah, thank you so much, Father Simon. Okay, Ari, would you like to open? Well, I have a question to Queen Christina. What is your favorite scene you filming in Warrior on season 1 and 2?
Season 1, it was in episode 8, the coming out scene. And in season 2, that's harder. I had so much fun filming all of it. Probably the church fight with all of Adriel's followers. That was a fun to shoot.
Yeah, I will love this one so much. Okay, Lord William, you have a favorite memory of filming one of the scenes in season 1 and 2?
Season 1, I loved the fight that we did at the end. That was a lot of fun to do. I have a fond memory of the fight with the invisible Tarrasque, which we had to redo after a heavy night of drinking. That was awful. But season 2, I really loved the scene I had with Tristan, because I felt that it was very well written, and it kind of broke down in a very charismatic way. It broke down what Adriel's trying to do, and I just think it was a delicious scene, because it showed a lot of his character. I really like that scene.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lord William. Okay, Father Simon, do you have a favorite one too?
Well, I mean, my job is to make them all my favorite. Really, I can't really do what I do without making them all. If I don't fall in love with all the scenes, then I've failed. So no, there's no. I think there's too many for me to choose one from. So I'm gonna respectfully decline answering that just because I don't want to leave anything out.
Thank you so much. Okay, Sarah, would you like to hop in?
Yeah. So this question is for Christina and William. What did you do to emotionally prepare for your role? Is there anyone in real life that you have taken inspiration from when playing your character?
Well, first of all, I mean, the process is, everybody has a different process, but I think I did a lot of research on nuns and how long it takes to become one, and just kind of imagining the mindset of someone who decides to go on that kind of journey and put down that amount of time and commitment. And then just think about the possible backstory of an emotionally repressed person. And imagine what kind of, it's a lot of imaginative work. And then based on kind of what and as in conjunction with Simon and speaking to Simon and asking him questions, deciding on those kind of key events that have shaped her, and then choosing certain types of ways to react to certain things, and then looking at the script and seeing how she communicates or doesn't. Sometimes that's even more important. I think picking out certain types of music helps me a lot. And yeah, it's very complicated, but also very straightforward.
For me, especially like starting season 1, because I came in very late, and there was so much information that I didn't have. So a lot of it was coming to terms with especially speaking with Simon, to know what direction he wanted to take the character in, and where the plan was to take him in further seasons, so as not to lay a foundation ground where we wouldn't be able to be flexible in the future. As from then, especially when season 2 arrived, and the character in many ways is an informative character. Like there's a lot that we need to know. There's a lot of information that needs to be given about the other realm, and Adriel is basically a character that gives us information about that, and there's a danger in that as an actor, because when you have a lot of text and there's a lot of action happening around you, you can become, if you don't play your cards right, it can just become boring. So to me, it was a question of finding the right tone, and there are actors that have always been that I've always admired a lot, because they have a very commanding voice and a very commanding tone, and sometimes you just want to listen to them speak. Marlon Brando, Jeremy Irons, Anthony Hopkins. So I was trying to find that, especially. I was trying to find a tone, a voice, and a presence for the character that would be timeless, because I couldn't make the character contemporary, and B, I did my best to try and make the character not bore the hell out of people between fights. So yeah, most of the work for me was that.
Thank you so much, Lord William and Queen Christina. Okay, Kate.
Yeah. So my next question is for Christina and William, but I guess Simon could also jump in on this one. So who's the biggest prankster on set, and are there any funny prank stories that you could share?
Jack Malarkey.
I was gonna say Jack is like the best, worst influence ever.
Yeah. I think Jack is one of them. Kuko, for sure, art stunt coordinator. Those two are the ones that pop to mind.
Yeah, I feel
William?
like all of the
Well,
stunts.
we
Yeah.
lost Neil. in
Oh,
season
Neil, yeah.
2.
We had season 1. We had Neil, who was our VFX on-set supervisor, who's loved to do pranks and goof around. I think those would be the top 3 for sure. I feel like Richard Clothier had it in him, but we never got to see it.
Yeah. I feel like Richard's development as a prankster was slightly stunted. I don't know.
Yeah, he was starting, just as he was starting to get comfortable. He was unfortunately finished work. But when you're new to a show, it takes a while to warm up to the what's going on the tone on the set, for example. But Richard definitely was fun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Christina, anyone else you can think of? I think that's.
Yeah,
I mean, Malarkey in terms of the cast for sure.
Yeah.
Did Simon? Did we ever get that? I remember the table scene that I had with Joaquin, and on one of the takes, at the end, I turned into camera and did a whole advertisement for the FBC.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is that around anywhere?
Well, so this will be hard to say and disappointing to hear for the fans, but Netflix took all of the bloopers for season 2 and have not released them. So I don't know how we can get any of that footage, to be honest with you. I think that they were just not really as appreciative of how much the fans love the bloopers as much as they do. So they sort of made it difficult for us to. That's why there is no bloopers for season 2.
That's so sad as well, because I tried to mess up more so there would be more bloopers for season 2.
Yeah. Well, it's also the way that the footage now. In the old days, we would keep all the footage as well as Netflix, but in the new era of everything being in the cloud, that's just not the way it works anymore. So the editors don't have the ability as much as they used to separate all that stuff out. So that's why you kind of have to have Netflix on board for the blooper stuff from early on. And that's the reason I only have half of season 1's bloopers. The only reason I got to release that is because I had a version on my computer that they had sent to me to play for the crew halfway through filming season 1. We had a midpoint crew party. And they sent me a blooper cut that I could show the crew just to keep morale going and have some laughs at the party. And that's why I was able to drop that, because it was living on my desktop or my laptop.
Okay, thank you so much for explanation. Yeah, that's okay. Kay, would you like to open?
Yeah, sure. Simon, I was just wondering, if we had 5 confirmed seasons, before shooting, writing, and everything, would the timeline for Avatris have changed? Would it have been more slow burn, or would it have just continued the way you intended it to?
Well, we write the show and make the show assuming that we have 5 seasons, so it plays out exactly as we would have done it regardless. Nothing would have changed.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Ash.
Hi. This is for Christina and William. What's one thing that you would want to see happen with your characters in the future season?
You're live.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean, I guess, just a general kind of, I'd like for her arc to continue towards personal acceptance and freedom. So, yeah.
I'd just be really interested to see, because to me, what was what's supposed to be coming is what's going to change this show into a sci-fi show. I was extremely interested to get more information of what the other realm is, and who these people really are, where they come from, and how long they've been visiting this place for. I think there was so much there is so much to investigate there and to discover and to play.
Lord William. Kelsey?
So this is for Christina or William, but Simon, it would also actually be interesting to hear your opinion as well. How much does a fandom, past or present, influence your thinking about personal branding as an actor? We've seen other fandoms support actors through their entire careers, like Patrick Stewart, for example. Do you see the Warrior Nun fandom as part of your own personal branding initiatives going forward?
I personally have never really thought in those terms. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to do a show when you suddenly see people that are so invested with something that you've been a part of. It's beautiful. In a certain way, it's kind of overwhelming. And in my case, I sometimes don't know how to react. I mean, I'm mostly in this to do a job, and you always, when you go in to do a show, a TV series or a movie, you just hope it's going to touch people, because you spend months, and it's a few years of your life if you get a couple of seasons or three. So you can only hope it's a story that's going to reach people, and when it does in this way, it's beautiful, it's marvelous. Um, as in branding, I've never thought of my job in those terms. I'm an actor, and to me, it's just about the story, and everything's out of my hands as from there. And I might end up doing something that doesn't please certain people that might be my fans in something, and then disagree with something I do on another show. But that's the nature of my work, and I have to work, and as I said, I'm all for it. It's great, when people do love a story that you're involved in, but it's kind of out of my hands, and it's not something that I directly seek. I'll I'll get involved with fans, like we're doing now, but this to me is also a special case, because you guys haven't been given the chance to do these kind of tete-a-tetes that we're having right now. So the only reason I'm doing it with this fandom is because I felt that I could, and I definitely think you deserve.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like I never, just like William said, I never set out to acquire this for my personal brand. It's just something that you appreciate greatly when it happens, and you hope that these people, you guys will be excited and inspired by future work, and that we'll be talking to each other many years from now, and that you guys will stay with me. But it's not something that is so cut and dry as to think that, oh, I'm just gonna, this is just for my personal branding. I think it's such an interesting relationship between a fandom and the person that they are a fandom of, or the thing that they are a fandom of. And I think also, well, you guys all know I was a fan. I was ever since I was a kid, I've been in fandoms. So I think especially coming from that as something so mundane as something to further my career. It's a type of connection, and it is greatly appreciated when it happens. And and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But I don't think I ever go into anything thinking that it's a prerequisite or so yeah, I think you guys, like William said, this is something that I think you guys have worked really hard for, and doing spaces like this and having this sort of line of communication is something that you guys thoroughly deserve, and it is much appreciated. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. I would like to say we every day inspired by all of you. Thank you, all of you, for giving us such amazing family, uh, such an amazing love, and just the love here in this fandom is bigger than anything. So I would like to ask just a funny question. Here in the fandom, we're in the fandom been like doing this the kiwi thing and the fruit phrases and so on. So I have a question to all of you. Do you eat the kiwi with the skin off or skin on? Uh,
What?
I eat it with the skin off.
What?
Yes, this has been everywhere here. Everyone is doing this
Skin
challenge.
off,
The warrior.
you heathens.
Yes, finally. Queen Christina
Yes.
saying eat it off. Okay,
Off.
well,
Off. Simon
Yeah,
says off.
I cut the kiwi in half and try to spoon the interior out. If I don't have a spoon, I'll try and bite it out, and sometimes a bit of skin can get down the hatch. But I'm not going to eat the whole skin. No way. No, it's hairy. It's just not. It's not natural.
yes. Okay, Father Simon, would you like to say something?
Yes, it's definitely off for me. No skin.
Finally, thank you, all of you. Okay, guys, please stop traumatizing us with the skin on. Okay, Kay, I would like to say something.
I was gonna tell William, if you don't have a spoon, have you ever tried like turning it inside out?
Turn a kiwi inside out.
Yeah, like cut it in half, and then instead of like spooning it out, if you
Yeah.
just like
Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, but that depends on how mature the kiwi is, because
that's true.
sometimes if it's very ripe, it'll come off like a bad sticker, and you can spend quite a bit of time doing that. So it's a bit, time consuming. I'd rather have a spoon.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so now everyone just eat with the skin off. Okay, hi, Kate.
I'm just gonna
Want to
say,
say
as
something?
someone down in New Zealand, the land of the Kiwis, I do eat it with the skin on. So
Oh my God. Okay, so it's also Director David says something like
But are
that.
you referring to as the kiwi the bird you eat
no,
with the
no, no,
skin
no.
on,
Oh
or
gosh, no. I'm gonna get deported. I can't say that. Don't get me deported, William.
Guys, help me with the skin off. This is the healthy way. This is the right way. This is how we always do it. Okay, I would like to thank Tangeline for joining us in this space. Thank you so much for your time. Just noted that right now. Okay, now, Sarah, would you like to open?
Yeah, so this would be for Simon. Would we be able to learn more about Beatrice's parents and her background in season 3 if we did get one? And then would she have considered returning to London? And has there ever been a thought of filming there?
Well, as with everything we do in the show, it's never in the show unless it's relevant to the story we're telling in the moment. So the honest answer is if in season 3 or whatever iteration of season 3 we end up doing, whatever story continues, if the idea that the bigger story of that requires Beatrice's connection with her family or her visiting, then we would put it in, no question. But if we're doing a story that doesn't require that, then we won't. And that's literally the cut and dry of it as a writer. We never do anything unless it serves the larger purpose of the whole season and the whole episode. And if it's not, we cut it. And the reason is because we have only a certain amount of time to tell the story, a certain amount of money. And so if we put a scene in that doesn't move the story forward, either Netflix will tell me to cut it out, or the editors will, or the production line producer will tell me. And it's just one of those things where we have to be as intelligent and efficient for the story we're telling in the moment. So the answer is, if the bigger story of season 3 needed it, we would absolutely do it. And if it didn't, we absolutely wouldn't. And that's it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Was there a second
Okay,
part?
yeah.
Also, hi Tangeline. I just want to say hi to Tangeline because she's amazing.
Thank you, Father Simon.
I mean, the
Okay.
second part was just filming in London, and if that was ever a
Oh,
consideration.
it's, you know what? I wouldn't say no to anything. It's just highly, it's just difficult when you're shooting a show in one place to go somewhere else for something that is not a big part of the show's requirements. So it would be the kind of thing where if it was, for example, if it was a movie and the movie was hopping around Europe as a function of the storytelling, then we could theoretically shoot in London or someplace like that, yeah. But if it was like a season 3 and we were in Spain, it would be really hard to justify the cost of moving everyone to London to film, unless it was for a big chunk of the season. If we had to do like a third of the season or half the season in London for story reasons, then we could probably justify it. But if it was just for a scene, we would probably end up faking it, building a set in Madrid or someplace that looked like the interior of a London building, and then shooting B-roll, which is like sending a crew or hiring a camera person in London to go shoot an establishing shot of a building and city streets and people walking by, so that when you watched the show, you'd see the shot of a London bus driving by a building, and then you'd cut to inside, but the inside would actually be a set that we built in Madrid.
Thank you.
Okay, Kate.
Yeah, this question is directed towards Simon, but I guess Christina and William, if you also have insight into this, feel free to share. So this is about like the costume. So were colors or different palettes assigned to each character, group, or location? For example, we never see bright red except for Ava's bathing suit in season 2 and her red shirt in season 1, and like some occasional red with like Duretti. Do the colors have a specific meaning? And if so, what are they?
Well, we had, Christina Sopena, who is the costume designer, and I, obviously we early on before you even filmed season 1, we talked about the palette of the OCS, and that's pretty clearly these tones of metallic blue and black, and we pretty much stayed in terms of tone of costume, matching color tones of the sets that we had built, like the Cat's Cradle and other places we shot in, so that we had this a palette of the show. So if you recall, we used colors like blue for Jillian, so we used cool tones like whites, grays, silvers, blues, light blues for Jillian's world and Arctec. And then for the OCS, we used warm tones like earth tones and orange and rust and browns for the world of the OCS and the church, to contrast those two things. And so wardrobe has to play in conjunction with that. So for example, Jillian was often in white, and so that was part of her universe as a color palette. And then of course with Duretti in the Vatican, yes, the red is inevitable because it's part of the real deal. You know, we're building off of the accuracy of the actual wardrobe that the Pope and the cardinals wear. So that's fairly self-explanatory, but it is nice that you can avoid red when you know you're going to have a lot of red in a different area. So as a decision, we made sure that we didn't have red in the rest of the show, so that when we were in the Vatican, the red would pop. That was season 1. And you kind of stick to your plan into season 2, but because the world changed of where we were shooting, and we were in the city now, and Beatrice and Ava were in civilian clothes, we sort of had to make decisions about their personal choices of wardrobe and colors. So I think those are fairly. I mean, we always kind of had Beatrice in non-patterns. I don't think you ever wore a pattern, right, Christina? Ever
There
once?
was only one.
Right. And then whereas with Ava, we made sure she had always maybe something going on, like pattern or a T-shirt with something printed on it. It was never solids. We weren't too locked into colors, but we did sort of stay on the softer, I think, palettes of like pastels for the most part with Ava's civilian look. And I think that was also just to contrast her look when she's the warrior, you know. And then Adriel, we definitely talked about how he was going to have these distinctive looks that were going to be evocative of like Jesus and robes and a figure of authority, almost like an alternate pope, I guess you could say. And that, but we never wanted to conflict with what the pope looked like, so it had to be its own thing, and it also had to evoke the other side a little bit. And I think that's really as deep as we got into the wardrobe color conversation. It wasn't. I guess we're not, because the warrior, the sister warriors, and Ava in her warrior nun. Those are the costumes we spent the most, I think, energy building and designing and making sure that there was authenticity there and it looked lived in and worked. Things like that, and also just the practical nature of being able to fight and do stunts and do things like that in a costume defines also how you make it. But I mean, I wish Christina was here to answer this question because she's the genius, you know. I just nodded a lot and said I agree when she said things, so that's the best part.
Thank you so much, Father Simon. Okay, now, Kay. Okay, Kay, before you just, Queen Tangeline, I send you a request if you would like to join us as speaker. Also, Queen Cheska, I also send you a request if you are hearing me, if you would like to join us as speaker. And thank you, both of you, for joining us. Okay, Kay, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I think the previous question kind of set this one up perfectly. But I was gonna ask William and KTY if you guys had a favorite outfit. I know like Beatrice's wardrobe changes quite a bit from season 1 to 2. So I was wondering if you had like a favorite from each season or one overall.
Well, the warrior outfit is always yeah, that one. It wasn't my favorite to wear just because of some technical complications in it, but it was my favorite to be in once I was in it. It does make you feel a certain way. But my favorite outfit in terms of comfort was probably the gray pants and the off-white shirt in season 2. I wanted those pants so bad. But alas, they slipped from my grasp.
Is the warrior outfit the one that you had like issues with the stunt team or like the ropes, or did I read that wrong?
No, I mean, in season 1, the pants were quite long, so I kept stepping on myself when I was doing stunts. But Christina was kind enough to lift the hem for season 2 a little bit, so that was no longer a problem. But there are quite a lot of layers, so it does take quite a while to get into it and out of it for bodily functions.
Yeah, for me, other than, as you all know, I have a soft spot for still wanting to see Adriel wearing a suit. But other than that, I think his final outfit, with the final showdown with Ava, I thought was so beautifully done. There was so much detail in it. You know, if you get on close-ups, the mesh, the bronze mesh on the chest was just exquisite. And then Christina had some handmade chaps that went with the boots. It was so beautiful. I mean, she's such a talented wardrobe artist. Everything she did was just amazing. You know, and she's so good at working with the actors. You know, she'd allow us to give our own input on things. I remember doing a lot of work with her deciding on because sometimes like the colors with Adriel, there's a lot of grays and blacks, and sometimes, you know, she'd get a bit upset because she was like, we need to break this somehow, and I worked a lot with her with you know, choosing the right jewelry and crosses that would kind of break those tones. And yeah, as Simon said, she's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I think that last outfit I wore was just, it was superb.
Thank you so much, Lord William. Okay, hi, Shiska. Queen Shiska would like to say anything?
Hi.
Hi.
So I heard my name. Hi, Simon. Well, you guys don't know who I am. So don't worry. I'm not a random like crew member that you suddenly forgot about. I'm just here for the vibes.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's first time to talk to you. I love you so much.
Hi, Jessica.
Okay. Now,
Let me just say, Christina, please like finish the mooncake I gave you before it expires. I don't know if like egg yolk mooncake, like the egg yolk is supposed to last like months. That's all.
I still have like one, so don't worry. They're still fine.
Okay, good.
But
Because
also, like, I would probably
everybody
eat
will
it
kill
even though it was
me.
expired just because I would have forgotten about the expiry date, so I would probably be fine anyway.
Okay, good. 'Cause if you suddenly got food poisoning and like just like got very sick, I think people would kill me. So please don't. I think they know where I work.
I think so. I think they know where you work.
okay, I would like to ask Father Simon, Queen Christina, and Lord William, would you like to stay more than an hour? I want to make you all feel comfortable. It's just an hour now. It's okay.
I can stay a few more minutes. Yeah, I have to leave to get on the road. Definitely in the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's good.
Likewise, I can stay another 5 to 10.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, Lord William?
Yeah, sure, I can do another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay, Ash, what do you have on?
Yeah. For Simon, did you have any plans for additional abilities that Ava might develop in the future seasons? And if so, do you have any hints for us of what they could have been?
I would love to answer this question, but it ties into the plan for season 3. That might be in season 3 or whatever we get to do next, if we get to do anything. So I'd rather not answer it. So I save the surprise.
I accept that 100%.
Okay, Ash. Kelsey, would you like to have one?
Yes. When did Beatrice and Ava really fall for the other person? And when, if at all, did they figure out the other one felt the same way? Like, were they both kind of just clueless gays until they kissed?
Yes. No, I'm kidding. Well, I think it's such a it's such a gradual thing with some people. You don't really exactly know when it starts. It turns from being strangers to being tentative friends to being friends to then suddenly you realize one day that you can't live without this person. So there isn't an exact moment, I think. Sometimes, yeah, you just wake up one morning and you think, oh God, I could lose this person and I couldn't deal with that. And then you have to deal with the ramifications of that realization. And I'm guessing that realization happened probably somewhere at the end of season 1 for Beatrice. Or very early season 2. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Queen Christina. Okay, I have a question for all of you. Is that a favorite a place you have filmed in season 1 and season 2?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Sam.
go ahead, Will.
Mine is definitely the Temple of Debod. It's my favorite place in Madrid. It's the place where, when I started living in Madrid, when I began my studies in theater over there, whenever I got upset, it's the place where I'd go to cheer myself up, because I have a very strong and close relationship with Egypt. I worked there for quite a while in my other life when I was an archaeologist, and it's a place where it's one of the few places in the world that I've really felt at home, and that location just brings me back to that feeling.
Just so you guys know, that's the location we shot where William Adriel walks on water and stops the locust attack. That's the temple in Madrid.
Okay, Christina, do you have a favorite one?
I really enjoyed shooting in Cat's Cradle in season 1.
Wow.
Although it was cold. Do you remember how cold it was
Yes,
in that
everybody
building?
got ill, myself included. We all had that horrible cold that made us all lose our voices.
Yeah, it was really cold but beautiful.
Nice.
I think I remember, I just remember being charmed by Ronda, the city of Ronda, where we shot episode 6. It's a great little town, and because it was sort of the crew got to travel, and we were all staying in like these small hotels, and we all got to eat together in these charming little street restaurants. It was just a nice time. And then season 2, that's trickier. I was all of it was fun. I just can't remember any one in particular that was. Maybe Christina can jog my memory, but
I enjoyed shooting in the
oh,
compound
I
in
just
Toledo.
remembered. Yes, I was
Yeah.
going to say the convent at the end, where we did the final scene with you leaving.
Oh, yeah.
The new OCS, the new Cat's Cradle. We had that. Remember, there was that wine and cheese shop.
Oh my goodness, I still
in the
have the
building.
pate from that place. It's so good.
So that was really fun because we were in this place that was a real. It was an old convent that had been converted into kind of a museum / but it's in the middle of nowhere, and they had this wine and cheese shop in the actual structure. So we had taken it over as a film crew, and in the middle of the day, in the middle of our working day, one of the crew members comes down to where we're shooting. I think we were in the catacombs shooting the Reyes scene with Ariala, and they go, "Oh, the wine and cheese shop is open," and half the crew disappeared to buy cheese and wine and chocolate. And then I'm trying to direct the scene, and I'm trying to. There's nobody around, so I go upstairs to find out where the cast is, and everyone's drinking wine and eating cheese in this tiny store. There's like 40 people in this space designed for 10, and everyone's having the best time. And that was that was kind of our informal last week of shooting, because that was the last time we kind of all were together as a full crew with a full cast. So it was kind of like an extended party for 3 days and then we had our impromptu sort of wrap party drinks there in that same building, which was tons of fun as well.
Oh, and lest we forget, we filmed at the Prado.
Yes, the Prado was pretty amazing.
I got to stand in front of a Velasquez, and I had it all to myself for like an hour, which is that is special.
Yeah, the Prado was a unique experience to be in a place like that and have it really just we had a very reduced crew that night, and we had the luxury of having the whole museum to ourselves, which was pretty cool. Yes.
Now
lots of good answers.
Yeah.
We could go on, I'm sure.
Yeah, after
about
shooting at the Prado, I finally understand why they tell you to walk and not run in museums, because the floors are supremely shiny. And there was a moment where I had to kind of burst out of one of the rooms, and we were running with I think I was running towards Ava or away from somebody, and just kept slipping. I had to do like a right angle stop and kept just eating shit on the entrance. But yeah, it was really amazing. It really felt like a night at the museum. It felt like things really came alive.
Yes. Okay, Queen Jessica, would you like to say something? Requesting?
I do have a question, actually.
Yeah.
So for the three of you, if Netflix or any production company was like, here's, I don't know how much, like $100,000, you can add a 5-minute scene, whatever you want, we'll add extra if it needs to be super ambitious, what scene would it be? And it can be as chaotic as you want, and like people would still accept it. Like, let's that caveat. So yeah, what scene would you add?
That's a loaded one for me to answer, but I'll let Beatrice. I'll let Christina answer on behalf of Beatrice and William answer on behalf of Adriel.
Good question, Jessica. I don't know. I feel like it stands very well as a whole as it is, but I don't know. Maybe a conversation between Beatrice and Michael would have been interesting. Somehow a deeper conversation between them about the state of the world. I don't know.
I would have had Adriel in the cheese and wine shop. Other than that, I really would have liked to have seen or had a scene between Adriel and Gillian. I think something interesting would have come out of that. The science bit mixed with the religious lore.
Yeah, that'd be a fun scene to do. I agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, Ari, you would like to say something? Just
This
another
will have to
question.
be the last. This will have to be the last one for me, guys.
Yeah.
Get on the road.
For sure. Yes. Okay, Ari?
Yeah, it's not really a question.
Yeah.
First of all, I apologize for any background noise. I am driving home from work. But I just wanted to extend my gratitude for the amount of time all three of you and also Tangeline and everybody else from the cast and crew who has given any amount of time to interacting with us fans here on Twitter. Christina for extending even more time through Cameo and also just coming on here to kind of mess with us a little bit and make us go crazy, as you know you probably do. William for literally being here every single morning and just being ready to encourage us and fight alongside us. It's really, really, really appreciated. And that kind of camaraderie is something that I have never seen in the amount of fandoms I've been in. I've never seen that from the cast. And especially to Simon for checking in with us and just keeping up, keeping up morale and just encouraging us to continue going, because I don't know what's going on your end, but as long as you are still telling us to keep going, we will. And I just want to say that I'm here until the end, whatever that end may be. And I know that a lot of other people are as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for everything you all have done.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your incredible loyalty and commitment to helping us keep this going and hopefully get the message out to not just other companies, but to other people who may be able to discover the show through you guys. And that way just build even a bigger army of fans. And that'll always help towards someone's decision or a decision that helps keep this journey going. I wish I had information. I don't. I can tell you that there are definitely, opportunities for people to take on continuing the story that are real. And I am not part of those organizations because I don't control the rights. I'm a hired gun, if you will. And so I don't have any ownership in the property of Warrior Nun. But the people who do own it can and are, I believe, fighting for the IP to continue and hopefully extend the storytelling of what we did in the TV show into other mediums. I don't have anything other than, I wish I had more specifics, but I have nothing more specific than that there are efforts out there with people who have resources and good intentions. So those people, I think, are very happy that we have managed to keep this going. And I think that the longer it keeps going and the more people that discover the show as a result of it will, encourage whoever's fighting and whoever's working towards continuing the storytelling part to keep doing what they're doing. It's just, that's I think fuel for the fire. And I think because you guys have built such a strong community of friends now, there's that in itself is a success that is bigger than any TV show. I mean, the relationships that are being formed out of this fandom are actually the real thing. A TV show is fiction, but you guys are real, and the love and the affection and the stewardship of your guys' affections for this series is real. So I congratulate all of you, and I'm really moved and touched by how much the show means and how much it's been a positive force in your lives. So thank you for that. And I hope I can still be part of the storytelling of this idea wherever and however that happens. But my intentions are that I would be. So we'll see what happens. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Simon. Yes, we will keep the fight. We will never give up. We have a huge and perfect family now. We win a lot of amazing relationships here. You all inspire us all every day by giving us much hope in our life. There's nothing named impossible in our life now. We can do everything. I think every day we in the worldwide trend. This fandom is so powerful and lovely more than anything. Um, I think so. I just know that you have no more time now. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I have to go now. But thank you, everyone, and I'll keep doing what I can from my end. And
Yes.
bye to everyone, and I'll see you guys on
Thank you.
Twitter and Instagram. Okay, bye everyone. Cheers.
So much.
Bye,
Thank you.
Simon.
Bye, Simon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Simon.
you guys. Thank you.
Christina,
Bye,
thank you so
thanks.
much. Thank you so much, Queen Christina. Are you gonna go now, or are you gonna stay a little bit?
Yeah, I gotta run, but I just want to say once again,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome. This has been it's being such a humbling experience, and I think Simon said it all. Like all the gratitude in the world to you guys, and as he said, what you've built, the community you've built, the friendships you've built, that is a real win in all of this. For me as a performer to have been part of something that has reached people in the way that this has is an extremely amazing reward. Like it's the best award an actor can get, to know that he's been part of something that of a story that has reached people in this kind of way. So I want to say thank you to all of you, and I'll keep waking up every morning and checking on you, and you know, as one more fan of the show, you know, keep fighting, and I want to thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Have
Yeah.
yourselves a good night or a good day.
Thank you so much for always reminding us to never stop fighting for our show. Thank you for everything you give to us.
Good night.
See you, William.
Bye, Will.
See you.
See you.
Bye, Christina.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, Queen Christina, would you like to say a little bit?
Well, I feel like it's already all been said. Well, you guys already know how I feel about you. So I always send all of my love to you guys, and all of my gratitude and appreciation. And yeah, I'll be back to mess with you all on Twitter at some point.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I always endeavor to bring the chaos with me wherever I go. So yeah, I'll be around, and just congratulations to all of you for this huge achievement, and I'm so happy that you guys have found and made a family of your own with each other. That's the most important one, the family you choose. So yeah, I'm so proud of all you guys for making it this far, and here's to imagine I have a chalice in my hand and I'm cheersing to the future, whatever it might bring. All right, so sound a lot less intelligent than all of those guys who just went before me, but here we go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Christina.
Bye,
See you.
Christina.